Hi, my name is Oenjula, and in today's video, I'm going to share with you the 4 daily habits that I have foregone after undergoing treatment, Ayurvedic treatment for psoriasis at the JB Roy State Government Ayurvedic Hospital. And before I go into the video, I would love for you to give this video a like if you are interested in more such psoriasis healing and healing related videos in general. Then a like is the best way for me to know that you would like to continue seeing such videos, and I will continue making videos on this topic. Now back to the 4 daily habits. Habit number 1 is lukewarm water with lemon in it. That's something I had started since 2020, and following Hannah Stilto's book where she suggested that, and I incorporated that into my daily routine. That's something my current doctor has asked me not to do. And lemon and sour food in general, sour fruits in general, tamarind and curd and all these things anyway are not allowed. So keeping that in mind, he has also asked me not to have that. And thank God I asked him that, because normally, there are so many things we assume are healthy. We see in social media as well as common knowledge tells us it's healthy, but then it may not work for our particular bodies. That's why it's always a good idea to check with your physician. And I did check with him after a month or so of undergoing treatment, because it never really struck me as something as that could harm me. So that is why it's always very important to keep checking things that we assume are healthy, and that pretty much applies to the rest of the list too. The second habit that I have stopped is having fruit or tea on an empty stomach early in the morning as breakfast. So I would typically have an assortment of fruits as breakfast, and then I would also have tea, not in that order, but some days I would have fruits, some days I would have tea. So my doctor asked me to avoid having fruits and tea on an empty stomach, and instead having, so what I do right now is I have either moody, which is puffed rice, or flattened rice chile, and or some other breakfast, so that I don't have these things on an empty stomach. And then I make my second meal, like I have few bites of or a bowl of moody, and then I have the tea, or I would have poha first thing in the morning, and then I would have the fruits later on after lunch or so on. So I just make that the second or third meal if I still want to have them. So that's habit number 2. And habit number 3 was fasting. I was fasting, intermittent fasting since 2020, so almost 3.5 years. And then I was doing Ekadashi fasting, waterless, for 6 months, and then 1 year I was doing with water for 36 hours. And he had asked me to forego intermittent fasting. I was fasting for, say, somewhere around 16 to 18 hours easily, and keeping in mind the condition of my body and my tendencies of my body becoming dry because of psoriasis. So he said that it's going to make your body drier. And he also didn't want me to do waterless and just water fasting on Ekadashi, and he asked me to have food, because there are ways to do Ekadashi fasting in different ways, but I was very obstinate about continuing the way I wanted to, because it had become a way of life. It had become a flex point for me. I had almost become arrogant about the fact that I could fast for 36 hours. That's a different video altogether. I have made another video about why I recommend fasting, and at that time, when I released it, just the day I released it, I went to the hospital for a checkup, and he told me to stop even Ekadashi fasting, which he had said you can do fasting but Ekadashi. And he didn't know that I was still doing the waterless ones, because I was again obstinate about it. So that very day he said stop with even Ekadashi, and that's why I have privated that video. I think the day I make another video about why people shouldn't just follow things such as fasting, which is touted as a very good way, like as a very good way to combat psoriasis or any other autoimmune. I want to make another video about it, but for now, this video, all that you need to know without me digressing is that he asked me to stop doing fasting of any kind, because according to him, it had made my whole body, my whole skin even far worse, and attracted even more problems than before. So yeah, that's another story. I mean, I don't want to go into that. But so these are the three habits. Now the fourth habit is letting go of expectations, and then thereby letting go of anger. So he has been very clear, and I even not just the senior doctor, the junior doctors have told me time and again whenever I complain about relapse, spots coming back, or a lot of irritation in terms of my skin itching, which happened since 2024. I got scabies and then eczema and then folliculitis, and the pain and the irritation and the itch just consumed my life, and it was way more painful than decades of psoriasis. I've mentioned all of this in another video, so I don't want to digress, but every time I would complain and I would say that I'm not getting relief and I'm in a lot of pain, the doctors would say reduce your anger. And this is a conversation I've had with even my senior doctor, and he has mentioned that you should be not getting angry, and you should not, and the way to do that is by letting go of expectations. So of course this is not as easy as it sounds. You can't just let go of anger, in my opinion and my experience, as easily as letting go of drinking lemon water or fruit or tea in the morning. You have to do certain processes and techniques, which I have been doing for the past 2 years now, and I'm not going to say it's easy, but it's possible, and I feel and I'm definitely confident, based on my research and experience and all the inputs I've been getting, that the mind is the most important factor in being able to eliminate the diseases and illnesses you have. So I have been focused, and I have doubled down on this since the past 2 years, when I realized really the mind is the place where diseases are created. So in order to eliminate that from our bodies, we have to let go of all the trapped emotions, and which eventually lead to poison and then poison our bodies. And I have many tools which I do, such as meditation, visualization, affirmations, journaling, and then of course one thing which is very important is to sit with your emotions. And what does that mean? So what it means is that idea is not to demonize or make a feeling and categorize it as a bad feeling. Feelings, like everything else in nature, they're natural. Human beings are prone to anger, jealousy, resentment, sadness, grief, but then the idea is not to suppress it and then cause illness in your body, and then eventually spread that poison, not just in your body, even like in your family environment. So the idea is to sit with your emotions and then have certain processes which then accept the emotion and then let it flush out of your body. So there are many techniques of doing that, and I have a particular way of doing which I feel has been working working for me. And this is something I was doing the other techniques, so the affirmations, visualization, journaling, but it took me some time to come around to sitting with my emotions, because let's be honest, that's not the easiest thing to do. And we do everything in our might, such as eating, distracting ourselves with work, distracting ourselves with the social media, with phone, with things that we really don't want to do, hanging out with people, watching movies. We do a lot of things to distract ourselves from sitting with our emotions. We eat when you're not hungry. We hang out with people we generally don't want to hang out with. We put up with the company of people we don't really enjoy the company of. We do many things. Like, I'm pretty sure you can think of things you do but you don't necessarily enjoy, just because you're feeling bad and you want a distraction from it. That is the moment you should be sitting down with your feelings, and if not that moment, sometime later. So it's a matter of practice. It's very scary, I know, at least for me it was. So if you want to know more about this practice, I send out emails to people on my email list about the techniques I have used, which have helped me, and how you can use those techniques and adjust it according to your requirements. So if you want to get those emails, get on my email list, which is linked in the description box below. And thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.